So hello people, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to code some stuff. I'm going to do some basic graphic stuff, basic 2D graphics in web. So previously people were using Flash or Applet to do some graphic stuff in web. Nowadays people are using either Canvas or SVG or CSS animations. So today I'm going to do some stuff in Canvas, HTML5 Canvas API. So let me give a quick outline of what I'm going to do today. I'm going to do a movie cut board. But basically this thing like rotates people do used to indicate when they want a cut in the movie in between not in the movie when they're shooting a movie they want if they want to have a cut if the scene doesn't go according to plan, so they will tell please wait, please do it again, or please repeat this step, it's not going well, so they use this cut thing. And I think, yeah, they use this thing when they have to indicate this is scene number, this thing, the scene number 2, scene number 3, you're going to shoot the scene number 1 or scene number 2 or scene number 3, like that. So let's get quickly started. I am going to use a code pen. I'm going to do the stuff in code pen. I'm created a pen. So code pen is a very good tool. Let me give you a quick demo of code pen, how people use code pen. Well, if you go to codepen.io, you can see there are a lot of stuff, like people have created a lot of stuff. There are some beautiful stuff people have created here. And then if you want to create a pen, you just have to go to create button and choose new pen. So when you click new pen, you will get this screen. The title is untitled. I will give the title after I create the stuff. So let's get started. Well, first we have to we need a canvas DOM to do, where we have to draw some stuff. We can draw some stuff in canvas only. Imagine it as a canvas, like the name is derived from the canvas that artists use to draw. Painters, what painters use to draw their stuff, that is called a canvas. A big whiteboard having a paper in it, that is called canvas. The similar concept applies here also in HTML5. And here we need something, we need the context. What we call here is context, with the help of which we can draw some stuff. Context is like a brush. Context is like a brush to our HTML5 canvas. What brush does to the artist's canvas, similar thing it does to our HTML5 canvas. To draw, we can draw some basic stuff like square, rectangle, circle, many custom paths also we can draw. So we have to quickly analyze like what things we have to draw. There is a why it is not in rooted manner. If we want a good cut board, then you can say movie. Let me know what is the practical term like they assign to this clapperboard. It's clapperboard. Okay, apologies for this. It's actually known as clapperboard. Yeah. So this is our clapperboard. It is available in Amazon, eBay, and all. So let's go to the image. So this is our clapperboard. This is a good image. Let's open a new tab. Today we are going to draw a clapperboard. I didn't know the technical word for it. This is, yeah. There are some stripes in it. You can see there is one big rectangle, a small rectangle which will be rotated around the axis. We will look at the joint of the bigger of the when the two rectangles meet. So let's have a GIF also. GIF. Right. How this is going to work? I'm not sure this is a proper GIF. Action. Yeah. So this thing is going to be rotated around this axis, the point at which these two rectangles meet, a smaller rectangle and the bigger rectangle. So let's see this stuff quickly. There is a big rectangle over it. There is two another rectangles. One rectangle is fixed. Other rectangle is moving around the joint in which where the two rectangles meet. The two small rectangles meet. This is the basic outline of the shape. Now we have to code this thing up in our CodePen editor. So we have to create a canvas dome here, and we do with the help of canvas tag. We have to give an ID, we have to specify width, we have to specify height. Width is the width of the canvas, height is for the height of the canvas. IDs, we can access this with the help of, we can access the DOM with the help of ID using the function. I'll come to it later. Using the function document.get element by ID in JS, which I'll come to it later if you don't have much idea in JS. So we have given it ID as canvas. Well, let's call it something else. Cut canvas or clapperboard canvas. Let me give us some dummy height. I will change it later because I don't want this hard-coded height and width. I want this canvas width and height to change according to the device width and height. I'll also give some border to this canvas. Let's copy this ID, very big name, and let's give it a border. I'll give a border of 2 pixel, dotted. So there the border can be either dotted or it can be solid. Dotted means it will be a dot in the lines, or solid will be a continuous line, black. So if you, so another, let me give you a quick review, like a tour of CodePen. This is the HTML editor, this is the CSS editor, and this is JS editor. So generally we have to include a JS file or CSS file in HTML, but these are all loaded earlier. It's all included in this HTML file earlier. So you can see that link.html will be present before this HTML thing, and script.src, with which we can include a JS file, is already included in this HTML file. And this is the result part. Like, you'll be able to see your result in this part. We can increase the size with the help. We can also increase or decrease the size here. So this is the, it has given us some border. So this is the first part to declare a canvas and do some stuff, and I have a border. Now let's access this canvas element or DOM element from the JS file. How are we going to do this? We are going to do this with the help of a method which is present in certain document object, and that method name is get element by ID. The method name is get element by ID. It's document.get element by ID. So we have to access this canvas from JS file. We can do this with document.get element by ID, and then this ID, the ID name. In our case, it is clapperboard canvas. Now you will be getting an idea why we have to specify an ID. We can also access this element with the help of its query tag, or like the tag canvas, but we'll get there. It is not it won't be proper thing, because there could be another canvases also. So it will return the document.get element by class tag name or something, will give you an array. We can also assign a class and try to access it, but that won't be also proper, because there will be some other canvas object with having the same class name. So yeah, there are various methods, and document.get element by ID is one of the method to access the DOM object in JavaScript. So yes. So as I mentioned earlier, we need a brush to draw in this canvas, and the brush is nothing but context. So canvas has this object context 2D context. It will give you 2D context. So get context is a method with which you can get the 2D context, or experimental WebGL, in some cases experimental WebGL, or in this case I'm going to tell it as WebGL. So you can get the WebGL context also. WebGL is built on top of OpenGL, which is a very good graphic library, which can in OpenGL you can also use GPU to render some objects, to do your drawing and stuff. So in many high class games, in many good great games like which you used to play in which you like to play, like Call of Duty or uh, Call of Duty or FIFA and all, they're all based upon, they're all you can play with the help of, they're all built on top of OpenGL, and they are all, you have to use GPU for that. You need a very good GPU to play those games. So if you want to do some stuff with the help of GPU, you need WebGL. So generally, whatever we are doing is like we only need CPU for it. We don't need GPU for it. GPU means it's advanced graphics. So now you remember that. So we don't need GPU WebGL here because we are doing a very basic stuff. We are not we don't need that amount like high we are not doing high graphical things or something like that. Uh, Graphics having high quality or something. We're not doing that. We're just drawing some basics here. So once you have got the context, these two are the global object. Now what we have to do, we have to set the dimension of the canvas, like the width and height according to device width and height. You remember we had hard-coded these values earlier in the DOM, but we don't need that hard-coded values. We need the device, the width and height to change according to the device width and height. So we'll have a function which will do the stuff for us. It will be canvas.width. In the function we have to say, sorry, it's not IDA, it is width. Canvas.width is window.innerWidth. So window.innerWidth will give you the width of the window of your browser. Window means width of the browser's window. So we need to be half of the window browser's window. The canvas width will be half of the browser's window, and canvas height will be the, since your browser is small, in this case we can say window. We need the full. It must fit to the whole of the height. Like it must be equal to the window, like browser's height. The canvas height must be equal to the browser's height. So for now, you can just call set dimensions, and it will just set the canvas width and height accordingly. Now if we resize also, the canvas width and height will be same, but we want the canvas width and height to change according to the browser's windows height and width. So there the function is, if we resize in the window, the we'll do, this will be an event, and we have to listen that event, and when this event will be fired, we'll fire our thing also. So we are listening this with the help of window.onResize. If you are familiar with like event listeners and all, then you can quickly get the code. But if you're not familiar, just remember, with the help, if window dot any object, not only window, any object, any DOM object dot on anything, like here I mean here that it means on, then anything like click or down or mouse over, or down means your mouse down, the same as the click, or blur, it leaves the target, is only applicable to input thing like text input or select input, something like that, or change. So any event is equal to, and it must have a callback, like it will have this function, and any change to this, like if you click the DOM or something, then this function will be called. So this whole line means that if there is any change on DOM, like if you're doing anything on DOM, then this function will be fired. If you have on click or something, then this function will be fired when we click on the DOM. So this applies to all, like all of the DOM or something, like or the DOM you want. So for now you have to remember this. So similarly we are doing this. If you are resizing the window, then it will fire this function, and what we want, what we want inside the function, it must call set dimensions, as we want the window size, like we want the canvas width and height to change according to the windows width and height. So far we are done with the initial thing, like getting the canvas and all. So if you look on that clapperboard thing, you can see there is a black rectangle. Let's see some other thing. A black rectangle. Over it, a rotated rectangle, a small rotated rectangle, which is it is making some angle with this thing. If you see this in this also, I don't want this thing. I want only the image. Image and new tab. So this one is good. Open image and new tab. Yeah, small image, large image. Okay. Okay. You can access this thing. If you see this thing, then there is a this two rectangle are the same, only this one is movable and this one is fixed, and this large rectangle is a bit different. It is like a rounded, it is having also some radius at its corner. We'll see if you're able to tackle that or not. And yeah, and you also having a black square here having some pins. We can have some circles here also for that. So yeah, for now, and we have some stripes over this black rectangle. So we can tell that this thing are this like are one thing, and this thing is another thing, and this thing is another thing. So we can have classes for it. Let's save our stuff. It's saved. Now we have to we need the class for the big thing, big rectangle thing. Then it must have okay, constructor takes something. No. So we are having a class for this big rectangle. We'll have another class for the movable bar. I'm calling it movable bar. You can call it anything. And we'll have a draw method for each. And we'll have another class for the fixed bar. I think this thing can have this whole thing as one, right? I'll have this as top bar. Oh, yeah, bar will be fine. Or just as bar. Yeah, can have just this as bar. We'll have a fixed bar of this bar of the class bar, and a movable bar of the class bar. We'll have an object of the called fixed bar, which is a blueprint of this bar class. Sorry, bar is the main class, and we'll have an object of two objects of bar. One is the movable bar, and another the fixed bar. The movable bar you can rotate it, and the fixed bar you have to it will be fixed. We need something called stripe. As you can see, this thing has stripes in it. This is one stripe, second stripe, third stripe, and this is the first stripe, second stripe, third stripe. Here also it is white in color. First stripe, second stripe, third stripe, fourth stripe. So basic idea is we'll draw a black rectangle and we'll draw these four stripes. That's it. So to handle it properly, we are also having a class for stripe. So previously we are using prototype to declare a class. Now we can use the this when this ES6 thing is introduced. You can use this class keyword and have a constructor or method for it. To have any other method, we can simply have a method like this. You want to draw method, we have a draw method. We don't need anything function keyword here. And also one more thing, I've used your arrow function, so let's be consistent and use our arrow function here also. So yeah, arrow function was introduced as in year 6. So thing is, we can use the this if we want. The main difference is when you use this keyword inside the function, it will refer to this function, but to the function itself in which that this keyword we are using. If you use this keyword in arrow function, it will call this thing of its of its of the thing which is outside of that function, to the function. Like we have a function, suppose set something or set some for now. So and we have another arrow function. We have another function for now, or set s or something. We have another set a, which is an arrow function. So we have this keyword here. It will refer to set s. If you have this keyword here, this oh sorry, the this inside the set a will refer to the this of set some or something, set something. So yeah, so the main difference is the way we are going to use is use this is different in case of function and arrow function. So yeah, that was the basic stuff. Now let's first try to draw the big rectangle. As we know, it is black in color. Black. The bar is black in color. Just you can do this CPR context. Why I'm using this CPS since previously I always try to declare the context of CPX. That's why, but we'll use the context object here. Context of fill rectangle, and yeah. So we need the dimensions also. So we'll set the dimension as. So we need this around. We need this whole thing, this clapperboard thing, in the middle of the canvas. So the default X will be, which will be same for all these objects, is canvas.width by 2 minus 100. I will have the width and height as 200, something like that. Okay, and Y also the same thing. Canvas.height by 2 minus 100. So minus 100 is because the reason why we use minus 100 is we want the width and height to be as 200 and 200 for the whole paperboard thing. Now let me draw this thing. X. Since you can see the clapper, this big rectangle start after some after this two bars are drawn, and I want the bars height to be around 20 and 20 each. Is 40. This, the bigger rectangle height will be 160, and it will start after the two bars. So its y coordinate will be 40. Sorry, y plus 40, and this will be the x coordinate will be x, and the width is 200 and height is 160. I'm hard coding the width and height, but I want the others to. I would like to use some variables for it. Just because of time constraint, I'm hard coding the values. So now, if we declare a rectangle, I think we don't need a constructor object method since we are not passing any variables. So if we create a new variable, big rectangle, and we create a new object for this big rectangle and draw it. Let's see how this thing comes in here. Okay, is this some issue or something? Okay, context fill style is black, context fill text is blue, and on the side is fine. Bar class is fine, class is fine. Let me check the console. Class is not defined. Sorry, fill rectangle is not a method, fill rect is a method. I was a bit excited at that point. So fill rect is the method to draw a rectangle and fill it. Yeah. Okay. You're able to draw things. Why it is not happening is we are resizing, we are not calling this thing. We are resizing, we are changing the canvas width and height, but we are not calling this thing. But let's do that also. It will this we have done variable. Yeah, you can see we are able to draw a big rectangle. So it is very much similar to this thing. Only thing is it has some rounded rects or something. It has rounded rect, rounded corner. Sorry, I don't mean by rounded rect. It is a rounded rect and has rounded corners. We'll see in the we'll see in the final part of this you will see of this video if you are able to do this. At the end, you are able to do this or not. Okay, we remove this dummy thing. So now let's now we have to draw some other stuff also. Let's draw this bar thing also. So here we have to pass some variables. Here we have to pass the y coordinate and okay, we'll be drawing this thing after the break. I'll take 1 minute break. I have to put the charger on. After that, we'll draw this thing. But then, okay. So okay, I'm back. So let's draw this stuff. Bar will receive, I think, the y coordinate and also a boolean flag whether it will be fixed or it will be rotating. Okay. This dot y is equal to y. Since the y coordinate will change for the bars, and this dot x fixed is equal to is fixed. We'll have another method if you want to rotate this thing up. If you want to rotate this bar, we will have another method called rotate, and we have a variable here as root. If it is fixed, we don't need it. So if not of fixed is fixed, then Then we need a variable to have to to hold that amount of and the amount of angle we have to rotate this thing. So rotate the upper bar, the bar which can be the movable bar, the bar which is not fixed. So that variable is deg, so of degree, and here we have to say need another variable also for to hold the direction in which the bar is rotating. The reason why I'm having this variable is I want to rotate it. The reason why I'm having this variable is I want to know, I want to first move it up, then I want to move it down. When it reaches the highest amount of degrees when it's moving up and it is reaching a certain degree, then it must go down. So then we have to like uh, change the direction of rotation. So then we have to toggle this variable this dot there. We have to just multiply with -1, and which is down. We have to at 0 degrees. We have to say that please go up from this position. So in that point we have to set the direction as 1. So we have to again multiply -1 to the day at which it will be -1. So let's do this stuff. I want the degree to be equal to 45 degrees, or let's say 30 degrees at this time. Let's say the max degree is 45 degree. This hard the hard render is in a variable. The max date is 45. It will rotate till 45. The movable bar will rotate till 45 till the angle 45. So the speed at which it will rotate must be 45 divided by 9. So max date